We speak thousands of words every day. Some are routine, some are rushed, but some, just a few, hold the power to shift the weight of an entire life. A single kind word can pull someone back from the edge. It can stop a spiral, heal a scar. It can say, "You are seen, you are valuable, you still matter." And the truth is, we never know how close someone is to giving up when our words find them. We never know the battles that kind words interrupt. Because kindness isn't small, it's sacred. And when spoken from a sincere heart, your words don't just echo in the air, they plant light in souls. The world is constantly being shaped not only by hands that build or actions that unfold, but by words. Words are the sculptors of souls, the unseen currents that stir our emotions, and the bridges we walk across toward understanding or division. They don't vanish after being spoken. They take root. Like seeds buried in the soft soil of the human heart, they bloom into either healing or harm. Imagine this: every sentence you speak enters someone's world. Every whisper, every reply, every moment you choose to speak gently when anger tempts you to roar, it matters. And just as a single flame can push away the dark, a single word can push away despair. What you say is more than sound. Its impact, its influence, its intimacy. In Hinduism, there is a deep reverence for the spoken word, seen the sacred vibrations that carry creative force. Similarly, the Quran reminds believers that kind speech is like a tree whose roots are firm and whose branches reach the sky. Across traditions, the message is clear: words build realities. That's why a heart of gold is never loud. It reveals itself in the quiet. Patient choice to speak life when silence would be easier. It shows up not in eloquence, but in intention. It says, "I believe in you" before there's proof. It offers reassurance with no agenda. Kindness doesn't demand poetry. "I see you, you matter. I'm with you." These phrases don't need music, they are music to the soul that's tired, to the heart that's uncertain. A stranger's kindness, an unexpected compliment, even a simple thank you. These things linger far longer than we realize. And what about the words we speak to ourselves? That inner voice shapes your reality as deeply as any external voice. Be mindful of it. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you love, because your spirit is listening. You are already enough, already worthy. Speak those truths until they drown out every lie. In Buddhism, it's taught that right speech is one of the paths to enlightenment, words that are true, gentle, and purposeful. This is not a spiritual suggestion. It's a spiritual law. The energy we give through our voice either restores or removes peace. What a responsibility. What a gift. So today, pause before you speak. Then speak with love. Let your words become the warm light someone needed but didn't know how to ask for. Speak as if someone's heart is leaning on your voice, because it might be. And when in doubt, silence wrapped in compassion can be just as powerful. Speak less to impress, speak more to uplift. Let your voice be the doorway into healing, into truth, into hope. The world is listening, and more than that, it's responding. There is a hidden strength in softness, a quiet fire in the gentle word. Sacred teachings across time and tradition elevate this truth. How we speak is not only a reflection of who we are, but a direct force shaping what becomes of our lives and the lives around us. The Quran says that even when disagreement arises, the response should be steeped in grace, not because truth must be diluted, but because truth delivered with compassion carries more weight. Softness is not surrender. It is wisdom wrapped in mercy. It is leadership that listens. Harshness may echo loudly, but it doesn't heal. Only grace can do that. Buddhism offers the teaching of right speech, not merely to avoid falsehood, but to uplift. Speak only what is true, Speak only what is kind. Speak only what is needed. These aren't just moral guidelines. They are a transformative practice. The tongue, when tempered by intention, becomes a bridge to peace in Hinduism. Words spoken in alignment with Dharma, the moral and spiritual order, become sacred energy. They are not forgotten after the sound fades. They ripple across time. A blessing whispered today could be the protection someone carries into tomorrow. Our speech, then, is not small. It is generational. Judaism speaks of lashon hara, a concept that warns against speaking harm, even when such words might be factually correct. The emphasis is clear. Truth without love is incomplete. Instead, speak to shield, speak to shelter, speak in ways that make others safer, stronger, seen. Words should be fortresses, not wounds. Christianity reminds us that the tongue holds the power to bless or break. That power is not metaphor. It is literal. With one sentence, you can breathe life into someone's courage. With one careless comment, you can plant doubt that chokes their dreams. So let the tongue be used to heal. Let it bless. What emerges across these traditions is a shared reverence for the voice, not just as a sound, but as a sacred act. This is not merely emotional intelligence. It is spiritual maturity. To hold your words with care is to hold your community with care. It is to walk humbly, knowing that the syllables you form can become someone's turning point. Kindness, then, is not weakness. It is wisdom in action. Every gentle word is an act of resistance against a world that sometimes forgets tenderness. Every encouraging phrase is a hand extended in faith that better is possible. And every loving silence in place of harsh reaction is the victory of spirit over ego. Your voice is not small. It is not forgettable. It is sacred. Whether through words spoken aloud or typed from behind a screen, you are shaping the atmosphere around you. So speak, not just to be heard, but to be healing. Speak gently, not because you're afraid, but because you're strong enough to be gentle. You are part of a lineage of voices who knew that true power never needs to shout. Words often slip from our mouths with such ease that we forget their power. But every word carries within it the potential to hurt or to heal, to divide or to draw near, to diminish or to revive. You won't always see the ripples of your kindness, but they exist, spreading quietly into corners of the soul you may never encounter again. That's the mysterious beauty of language. It leaves your lips and enters someone else's world, where it might become the seed of confidence they didn't know they needed. One simple compliment, spoken without agenda, can restore a sense of dignity to someone battling self-doubt. A few sincere words of encouragement can crack the silence of generational pain, allowing light to flood a space long darkened by shame. One sentence can become the moment a person chooses to keep going. In Sikhism, speech that is rooted in remembrance of the divine is not just communication, it is devotion. It transforms ordinary conversation into sacred offering. When we speak with reverence, mindfulness, and love, we don't just offer help, we offer healing. We become vessels of service, letting our words carry grace where it's needed most. You don't have to be a poet or a preacher to speak life. You just have to care. Care enough to pause before responding. Care enough to choose the phrase that builds instead of breaks. Care enough to turn your voice into refuge for someone who feels like they have no home in the world. Your voice is your daily offering, a sacred tool for good. Not every day will feel dramatic or divine, but even the smallest exchange, checking in, apologizing, expressing gratitude becomes holy when done with intention. Let your voice be proof that compassion didn't go extinct with history's saints. Let it show that courage isn't always loud. Sometimes It simply whispers truth in a world addicted to noise. Use your voice to remind people of their worth. Use it to lift those who can barely stand. Use it to call out beauty where others only see brokenness. Let people feel safer after they've spoken to you. Let them walk away with their head higher, not heavier. Speak life even when your own heart aches. And in doing so, you may heal yourself too. Because at the end of the day, the words you choose form the legacy you leave, not in books, but in people, not in quotes, but in quiet moments when your voice shows mercy over mockery, belief over bitterness, love over labels. The world doesn't just need louder voices, it needs gentler ones. Let goodness speak through you. Let your voice soar sacred. Human voice becomes someone's reminder that there is still beauty in the world, and it still speaks. So today, let your words be slow. Let them be soft. Let them be sincere. Because you may not always have the power to fix someone's pain, but you always have the power to not add to it. And sometimes, a single kind word is all it takes to start someone else's healing.